The Mysterious Death of Amelia Earhart. Opening. On July 2nd, 1937, a weak radio signal rang out from somewhere in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. KHQS calling Itasca. We are flying on line 157337. We cannot see you. Fuel is running low. These were the last words the world heard from Amelia Earhart, the legendary American female pilot. After that, silence. A silence that has lasted nearly 90 years until today. So, what really happened to Amelia Earhart and her navigator Fred Noonan? Why did one of the most expensive search operations in history fail to find any trace? Today, we'll dive deep into this mystery. Who was Amelia Earhart? Amelia Mary Earhart was born in 1897 in Kansas, USA. She was not an ordinary girl of her time. While most women of that era were limited to family roles, Amelia was passionate about adventure and flying. In 1928, at age 31, she became the first woman to fly across the Atlantic Ocean as a passenger. But that wasn't enough for her. In 1932, Amelia flew solo across the Atlantic Ocean, becoming the first woman to achieve this feat. After that success, Amelia set many other records: highest altitude, longest distance, fastest speed. She wasn't just a pilot, she was an icon of the women's rights movement, proving that women could do anything men could do. By 1937, at age 39, Amelia decided to undertake her most daring flight, circumnavigating the globe along the equator, nearly 47,000 kilometers. If successful, she would be the first woman to accomplish this. The fateful flight. On July 1st, 1937, Amelia Earhart and navigator Fred Noonan took off from Miami, Florida, aboard a Lockheed Electra. They carried fuel reserves, drinking water, and radio equipment. For an entire month, they flew across South America, crossed the Atlantic to Africa, then continued to Asia. Everything went smoothly. They stopped in India, Thailand, Singapore, Indonesia. On July 29th, they landed in Lae, Papua New Guinea. This was the last stop before the most dangerous leg, 4,000 kilometers across the Pacific Ocean to Howland Island, a tiny coral island only 2.6 square kilometers in size. The U.S. Coast Guard cutter Itasca had been sent to Howland Island to serve as a radio communication and navigation point for Amelia. On July 2nd, 1937, at 00 GMT, Amelia and Fred Noonan took off from Lae. They had about 20 hours of fuel for a flight expected to last 18 hours. Initially, everything was fine, but as they approached Howland Island, problems began to emerge. At 7:47 a.m. local time, the Itasca received a radio message from Amelia. "We must be on you, but cannot see you. Fuel is running low." At 8:43, one final signal. "We are running on line 157337. We'll repeat this message. We are running on line 157337. After that, no more communication. The strange thing was the Itasca could hear Amelia, but Amelia apparently couldn't hear the Itasca. Experts later believed that Amelia may have set the wrong radio frequency or the radio equipment on the plane malfunctioned. The massive search operation. As soon as they realized Amelia was missing, the U.S. Navy and Air Force launched the largest search operation of that time. President Franklin D. Roosevelt ordered the mobilization of 9 warships and 66 aircraft. The search area covered 400,000 square kilometers, equivalent to the area of Japan. They searched for 16 days straight. The cost reached $4 million in 1937, equivalent to about $80 million today. The result? Nothing was found. No plane debris, no oil traces, no bodies, nothing at all, as if the plane and two people had vanished from Earth. On July 19, 1937, the U.S. government officially declared Amelia Earhart and Fred Noonan dead in the line of duty. But the story didn't end there. For nearly 90 years since, hundreds of researchers, divers, and historians have continued searching, and many different theories have emerged. The theories. Theory 1. Crashed into the ocean and sank. This is the official theory and the most widely believed. According to this, when they ran out of fuel and couldn't find Howland Island, the plane crashed into the Pacific Ocean and sank quickly. That ocean area is 5,000 to 6,000 meters deep. If the plane sunk, it would be very difficult to find. In 2002, an expedition searched the ocean floor, but found nothing. In 2017, another search also yielded no results. Theory 2. Emergency landing on Gardner Island, now Niku Mororo. The organization TIGAR, the International Group for Historic Aircraft Recovery, believes that Amelia and Fred flew off course and made an emergency landing on Gardner Coral Island, about 560 kilometers southeast of Howland Island. They may have survived for a few days or weeks on this desolate island before dying of thirst or starvation. Afterward, the tide swept the plane out to sea. What evidence have they found? In 1940, a skeleton was found on this island. At the time, they thought it was male bones, so didn't pay attention. But a 1998 reanalysis showed it could be female bones with proportions matching Amelia. In 1991, metal fragments similar to the Electra aircraft were found. In 2001, glass fragments, possibly from binoculars or sunglasses, were discovered. In 2014, a jar of Dr. Berry skin cream was found, a brand Amelia regularly used. In 2014, analysis of photos taken of this island in 1937, 3 months after Amelia disappeared, showed a strange object protruding from the water surface that could be the plane's landing gear. However, there's no conclusive evidence. Other scientists argue the bones were from indigenous people and the metal was from another aircraft. Theory 3. Captured by Japan. Some people believe that Amelia and Fred flew off course to the Marshall Islands, then controlled by Japan. In 2017, the History Channel aired a documentary with a photo allegedly showing Amelia and Fred at Jaluit Atoll Harbor in the Marshall Islands. However, it was later discovered that this photo was published in a Japanese magazine in 1935, 2 years before Amelia disappeared. This theory was debunked. Some indigenous witnesses claim to have seen a white woman held by Japanese soldiers, but there's no authenticated evidence. Theory 4. Survived and lived anonymously. Some people believe Amelia survived and returned to America with a new identity to avoid public attention. This theory has almost no basis and is considered a conspiracy theory. Conclusion. To this day, after nearly 90 years, the mystery of Amelia Earhart's death remains unsolved. Maybe we'll never know exactly what happened in the Pacific sky that day. Maybe she crashed into the ocean and sank forever. Maybe she landed on a deserted island and died in solitude. Or perhaps there's another possibility we haven't thought of. But regardless, Amelia Earhart's legacy lives on. She is a symbol of courage, of dreams reaching for new horizons, of the belief that gender cannot be a barrier. Her famous quote still echoes, "The most difficult thing is deciding to act. The rest is merely tenacity." And perhaps That's why we keep searching for answers, because Amelia deserves it. Our story ends here. If it moved you, show your support with a like, share, and subscribe. I'm Drick. Thank you for joining me on Unsolved Story.